Okay, so I put a community post last night. Maybe it was in the evening, but I think it was actually pretty late. Where I had said, hey, sorry, there's not going to be a car/room talk video on Thursday because I was busy helping my sister move. And, excuse me, when I got back, I just kind of wanted to relax. By the time I was ready to do a recording, the sun was down, so it wasn't really going to be happening. So I figured I would make up for it by recording it on Friday, trying to record it pretty early. Like, I just got out of the shower early today, and since it's not fuck this shit degrees outside yet, I figured maybe I could actually do the ding-dang thing in my car. My sister graduated med school. She's going to be starting her residency pretty soon. It's in about 2.5 or so hours away from where we live. So we're just kind of helping her move some stuff. I know they're doing some more moving today, but they had said, we don't actually need you for this. I'm like, cool, I'm good. I did some helping yesterday. If I'm not needed, I just kind of want to relax. The things to talk about. Number fucking 1, Persona 3 Reloaded. Like, holy shit. So, I don't know if I've ever talked about Persona 3 on this channel. I don't know how much I've really talked about Persona. I'm pretty sure I've alluded to the fact that, like, P4 and P5 are 2 of my favorite games of all time, and there's a reason I don't include Persona 3. I'm very mixed on it. Short version, I think the atmosphere is great. Excuse me. I think the music is great. I think the social links are great. And I think the characters are great. I hated playing this game, though. Not being able to control your party members and them being actively stupid when it comes to their AI was a huge detriment. There is a reason Mitsuru was not a member of my party at the end game. I heard people talk about how strong she is, how absolutely busted she is. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I never forgave Mar and Karin. I never forgave. I'm like, hey, I am going to put you on support right now, Mitsuru, because you've got a little bit of healing, and I need a little bit extra healing right now, because, like, Yukari's already taken her turn, and, like, can you do me a solid? Sure. Mar and Karin. Why? Oh, what do you know? Mar and Karin actually worked. So cool. Now we have an enemy. It's now possessed. It's now our side. We could do something. Akihiko, why are you attacking the Mar and Karin enemy? No, why did you kill it? What is the point of this skill? It rarely works. And then when it does, the next party member just kills the damn thing. This is stupid. Or putting Koromaru on offense. Then he was like, cool, I'm going to use my darkness skills on a boss. No, Koromaru, I put you on offense so you can use your fire skills on the boss. Please, be a good boy. I'm going to use my darkness skills, and it's just going to waste the turn. I'm surrounded by idiots. And it just was so frustrating. It was so awful. I'm also mixed on Tartarus. Like, okay, some of the actual individual things, like, yeah, you can go to the bottom of Tartarus. I think you can go from any floor, but there are some floors that are specifically, like, waypoints. And if you go, I'm pretty sure if you go to the bottom of Tartarus, you can just restore all your SP and keep going, which is really nice. But there's also a mechanic early in the game where your party members will get tired. Like, hey, I need to go to sleep. I don't really want to do this shit anymore. And it's a way to kind of stop you from grinding too early, or like too much, at least with one character, which is annoying, but as the game goes on, that just stops being a problem, and I actually kind of like it. Like, it's a subtle way of showing your character's progression. I don't necessarily want to say their development, because it doesn't really do much for them as a character, but it does show how everyone is subtly getting stronger as their stamina is going up. They can keep going, and I think that's really cool. I just never really got into Tartarus myself. I'm not super big on just, like, completely random dungeons, and while P4 does that, there's at least a unifying theme for each dungeon. It's like, this is how it reflects this character's psyche. And I love that. I think it's super interesting. Tartarus is just like, here's a block of, I don't know, maybe it's supposed to represent, like, the 7 deadly sins or some shit. I don't know. It's, you know what it is? It's mementos. If you've played Persona 5, where it's like, here's this thing, it's random shit, every layer is a little bit different, but not really. And sometimes they have their own, like, little unique effects, but just, yeah. I did not care for Mementos in vanilla P5. I also don't think the Mementos music is very good, if I'm being perfectly honest. And then when you actually get to the depths, you're like, cool, this is its own unique fucking dungeon now. And then P5R was like, okay, so if you meet Jose and you give him, like, the little flowers and shit, you can make Mementos not suck. You can make it easier to grind. You make it easier to grind money. So you can actually have some fun with this part of the game. And so, yeah, I liked it a lot more in Royal. I heavily doubt Tartarus would do something like that because it's the main dungeon of the game. So I think I'll like Tartarus more because I can control these idiots. So I'll like playing the actual game more. But I still think Tartarus is not going to be something I quite love. But I know there are a lot of people who do. Like Clay absolutely does, and I can understand why. But the fact that I can play a version of the game where I can control my party members means I won't take long breaks from the game because I don't like playing it, which means I could probably appreciate the story this time. Because I remember thinking, the story seems like it's good, but I've forgotten so many details, I'm just not sure. So I'm looking forward, and from what I understand, it maybe still isn't a definitive version of the game, because there's weirdly no definitive version of Persona 3. But I'm looking forward to playing this version. What were some of the other things that got revealed yesterday? There's Persona 5 Tactics, so I'll probably check it out. I don't know if I'll play it, but I'll kind of follow it and then make my decision later. There's the Puppet Souls, the Lies of P got a demo. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm interested in giving it a shot. I'm not a big Souls guy. I will be perfectly honest about that. I don't really like how Dark Souls plays, its model. I know people love it. I know people eat it up. Good for you. And I'm sorry how bad that sounds. Good for you. I'm hey, if that's your thing, that's your thing. It's just not mine. I have not touched Elden Ring because Elden Ring does not appeal to me. That being said, I like Bloodborne. I like how Bloodborne is more about just being aggressive and how, fast-paced and aggro it is. I like that. And if Pinocchio Souls is kind of like that, I might actually get into it. I don't really have anything to say about Mortal Kombat, because I'm not a big Mortal Kombat guy. I don't really have anything to say about Final Fantasy VII, because I haven't played the first part of the remake. I was really interested in it until I heard about the ending, where it's so it's a really faithful remake, and then it goes full Nomura. I'm ugh. I'm not surprised. I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised. And so just after that, I'm cool, so it's not a remake, it's a weird stealth requel, I guess. I'm not really that interested anymore, if I'm being honest. I know a lot of people are, and I hope the game is fantastic. It's not I'm man, I want this to fail. No, I hope it's great. I just don't know if it's going to quite be for me. Now, I still should play at least the first one at some point and make my own decision for it. I'll probably do that eventually, but it's not on my list of things to do this year. And like I've said, next year to me, my game projects are going to be playing the rest of the Tales series, which I guess is good a segue as any. I'm not done with Abyss yet. I'm on the third act. To kind of say where I am without spoilers, I did the volcano dungeon. Where am I right now? I think I went to Mount Roneal, which is the, ice mountain the second time. So, I've done the dungeon. Now we were going back for just some, cutscene and story shit. Oh, I'm in Batical right now. I have to find Mose, and fuck that guy. But that's where I'm at. I'm close to finishing. I probably won't finish it this week. But I expect to finish it next week. I'm really looking forward to my review of the game, because I'm looking forward to being able to just kind of sit down and talk about it and talk through it. I don't think it's going to get a good overall score, because I think there's a lot, for me personally, there's a lot of areas where the game suffers, notably its performance. The game runs like shit. It is honestly, when you're in combat, it runs fine. It actually runs really well. But in the overworld and like the load times, like it literally takes like 30 fucking seconds to save. Eternia was just, hey, I need a save. Wow, that took 3 seconds. I have to like sit there with dead air in Abyss, and it makes me a lot less likely to save my game. Now, this is not something that has actually fucked me over, but I'm a very anal saver. I'm like, all right, I have a chance, let's save. I got a chance, let's save. Cool, some things just happen, just save. And then there's times where I am just so in the zone, I don't save for a while. But usually I save pretty often. But because it takes so fucking long in this game, I'm like, nope. I'll save after a little while. I'll save after a chunk. And the fact that you can't fucking save on the airship is stupid. There's no good reason for it. Like, yeah, if I'm on the airship, I'm like, I kind of want to save my progress right now. Or like, yeah, I want to save and quit. I should be able to do that. I could save on the Von Altia and Eternia. Why can't I save on the Albior here? It's stuff like that. There's a lot of, to me, just, this is something that I really hate. This is something that I really hate. This is something that I really hate. So while I feel like the scores in the actual categories aren't going to be too bad, I think overall, there's going to be enough missed points where they add up. And it might make it look like I enjoyed the game a lot less than I actually did, but you know, of course, we'll go into detail when I actually talk about it, which will happen sometime after I actually finish it. Let me just check. Was there anything else I really want to say? Oh, there's actually quite a few things. So one, I just got to shout out the playoffs. We're in the NBA Finals. We're in the Stanley Cup Finals. Denver is up 2-1. This is not what I had predicted. Like, because I actually did, like, on Twitter, I was like, this is my predictions for the whole series. I said Denver wins game 1, Miami wins game 2, so I was right. I did think Miami would take game 3 in Miami, and then Denver would win the rest of the games, Denver in 6. Right now, Denver is up 2-1, so I got the first 2 right, got the third one wrong, I'll be honest about that. I still think Denver wins this series, but I'm rooting for Miami, but I have no beef whatsoever with a Denver win. This is a very good team. This would be the franchise's first win, the first championship. It's their first time in the finals. Jamal Murray is a beast. Jokic might be the best player in the game right now. He dropped, what was it, fucking 30, 20, and 10? That's insane. Like, this dude is so good. I would be happy to see him win a championship. That being said, I am heavily rooting for Jimmy Butler to win a championship, and like this run for an 8th seed to be able to do all this is super impressive. It is like, yeah, if the overdog wins, they're a likable, good overdog. I have no problem with that. But one of my favorite players in the game right now is on the underdog, so I'm rooting for them. Which is a transition to the Stanley Cup. Also 2-1. Vegas won both games in Vegas. Florida won the game last night in overtime because, of course, they did. This is one where, like, I'm not super big into hockey, but I'm trying to get more into it. And yeah, I've been following, like, the playoffs a lot. I don't have a team. Now, I remember when the Golden Knights became a team, I said, you know what? Maybe this should be my team. Like, this is a new team. They're on the ground floor. So it's not just like, oh, cool, you picked a team that was doing super well, you bandwagon. I was like, no, I'm going to pick this team at their inception. I'm going to support them. Oh, they were good immediately. They went to the Cup their first year of existence. Well, just shit. I guess I did bandwagon without even really trying to. Whoops. So the fact that they're in the Cup and they're doing well, I'm like, this makes me really happy. I do want to see them win. But on the other hand, Florida being on the crazy underdog run they're on, I kind of really want them to win too. Like, I don't really have a dog in the fight. So again, like with the NBA, like, I'm really happy with both teams for different reasons. And like I said, I am super fucking casual with the NHL. That's why I'm like, yeah, even though I kind of said Vegas is my team and I want them to win, I'm okay with them not getting a championship because this story is so good. Like, you would not hear me fucking say that in the NFL. If the Saints are in the Super Bowl, I don't care how good the Bills story is. I don't care how much I like Patrick Mahomes, how much my dad likes the Chiefs. I don't care that, you know, Joe Burrow has this great reputation for being cold as fuck, etc., etc., etc. If the Saints are in the Super Bowl, I hope they win by fucking 50. I hope they destroy the other team. I hope the narrative is just, this team is fucking goated. If the Saints are not in the Super Bowl, though, It's fair game, more or less. Unless I really hate the team representing the NFC or, something like that. But, yeah, it's like, here's the sport I'm passionate about. These other ones I'm a lot more casual. Umineko. I'm not done yet. Sorry, I just kind of noticed my tone, and it sounded like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm not done yet, but I wish I was. I'm like, no. That tone was more of a, I'm not done yet, but I expect to finish Twilight of the Golden Witch today. I'm really excited to be done, and I'm really upset that I'm going to finish and go, I don't have more to read. Now, of course, I am reading the manga for the for the answer arcs. Because, I heard it's a fantastic adaptation, and it gets me through the story faster. So, like, I love this so much, I just want to consume it at a rapid rate, and this allows me to do so. But I do miss out on a lot of the music, and I have heard some of the music. I have watched some of the scenes that I've missed out on. I'm like, oh, that's really fucking cool. But also, I'm like, but even in the manga, because I like a lot of the artwork, too. I'm like, this looks fucking great. This looks good. I know there's aspects that I have missed out on by not reading the VN, but I feel like if I was reading the VN, there'd be some aspects I'd miss out on the manga too, so it kind of evens out. And with Clay still reading the VN, I know there are just going to be times where I'm just hanging out with him and reading it with him. So I'll get to those other parts eventually. Fuck, it is so hot. Like I said, it's not fuck the shit degrees outside, but my car is fuck the shit degrees inside. But I'm pretty close to being done with this video, just like how I'm close to being done with Sea Cats. The only other thing I really wanted to say, I just want to check my notes. Yeah, this is really the only other thing to say, is my friend did get married on Saturday. I went to the wedding. It was lovely. We had a lot of fun. There was not a wedding cake. Instead, it was a wedding where there's a bunch of just kind of like sweets laid out, and I love that shit. I love wedding cake too, don't get me wrong. I was like, this is the second time I've been to a wedding where the food that was catered was just like a barbecue buffet, and both weddings, instead of a wedding cake, had an assortment of sweets. Maybe more weddings should do this, because both the food was really good and I like the sweets a lot too. And that one, it was like banana pudding and donuts. And this one, it was like lemon flavored cake balls, which I love, lemon flavored cookies, cupcakes. I think there were macarons. I don't know if they're macarons or macaroons, because I know those are two different things. I ended up not getting any of those, mostly because I was like, dude, I had like 3 cake balls and 2 cookies. I'm good on sweets. It was really good shit. A couple things that really stuck out to me was, it was not the bride's walkout song, but it was for like the parents and the best man and the maid of honor, was a piano cover of Beneath the Mask from Persona 5, which I was not expecting, and it made me really giddy. And, what was it? Oh, at one point after the wedding, so like during the reception, which was literally like in the exact same area, I was like, cool, here's the wedding. Now just take your chair, bring it over here, and here's the reception, which I really liked. There was a point where we all got into a circle around Billy, who's our friend, he's the groom. And we did what we called an Ava circle, where we all just, clapped and went, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. And when it was pitched to us, I was like, okay, I'm going to be the guy that does I'm going to make the pen noises. You can't stop me. So congratulations, congratulations. And one part go, while I'm clapping, and Billy just starts laughing. It was wonderful. I loved it. It was just nice. Like, I love weddings. I really sincerely do. I love seeing people that I care about have a moment where they can just be celebrated and be happy. And these two have been together for like 9 fucking years at this point. Like, this is a relationship I 100% believe is going to last, because I have seen it last. And I'm really excited for them. The only other thing to talk about would be Spider-Verse. I saw it last Sunday, and I just haven't done a video on it yet. And I fully intend to. Like, I've got my notes ready to go. I've been willing to talk about it. I just haven't had the chance to do it yet. But hopefully later today, hopefully pretty soon, I'm probably going to eat first, and then like, cool, time to, sorry, I noticed my hair. I think it's a combination of coming out of the shower and then just being sweaty from how hot it is. I was like, oh, it's looking a little interesting right now. Oh, that's right, I got a haircut before the wedding. I think this is my first video since, surprise. But yeah, that's all for this one. I'll see you guys later. Happy Friday.